Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing 5 drugstore purchases that I've made recently that I am loving. Like loves pretty much immediately on these 5 products. So much that I'm reaching for these things over a lot of my high-end makeup. So I wanted to share them with you. If you're new here, my name is Blair. I do all kinds of beauty and makeup content here on YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I hope you'll stick around and subscribe. Let's go ahead and get into my 5 best new drugstore purchases. All right, the first thing is actually a sunscreen. I've kind of been on a sunscreen kick recently. I don't know. I guess this time of year I'm just kind of in the mood to try new ones. I randomly picked this one up one day when I was at Target, and I absolutely love the Neutrogena Invisible Daily Defense Face Serum. I somehow lost the cap. I don't know. I must have thrown it away accidentally, but this is SPF 60, and this is my new favorite from the drugstore, you guys, especially for under makeup. So this is what it looks like. It's very thin in consistency, and it might look like it has a white cast initially, but then it just blends away. And it is pretty, I would say pretty glowy looking initially, but it does dry down on your skin. It definitely leaves a little bit of a sheen, but it's not super glowy, not like a glow screen or something like that that looks extremely glowy and radiant. This is so good, and it works well under everything that I've tried it with. It's thin. It does, let's see, has a slight sunscreen smell, but I've noticed as it dries down that goes away and I don't notice it. It is a chemical sunscreen, which I know is not always everyone's favorite, but I have very sensitive skin and this does not bother me in any way. I have thoroughly enjoyed this, and this is one I love so much I would definitely repurchase it. I've been reaching for this sunscreen constantly when I want something that's not tinted. A lot of my favorite sunscreens have a little bit of tint to them, but I now have my new favorite with no tint. There's no fragrance added to it or anything. It's just a really good everyday sunscreen, and it's SPF 60, which is amazing. I feel like sometimes it's hard to find a sunscreen that's not matte but not super dewy. This one you kind of get the best of both worlds. I thoroughly enjoy it, and I definitely recommend this one. Next is the foundation that I have on today, and I have talked about this a few times. I've talked about it on Instagram, and I absolutely love the L'Oreal Age Perfect 4-in-1 balm makeup. So this is really interesting. I don't really have anything like this in my collection, but I wear shade light number 10. One thing I will say is the shade range needs some work. That's the one downside to this product, is the shade range is not good. They need more shades desperately, but if you can find a shade that works for you, I really recommend this. So it's a very interesting consistency. It's supposed to have like anti-aging serum in it, or firming serum. I don't know about all that, but this is a light to light medium coverage. It's very just skin-like. It's hydrating. It's lightweight. It's good for this time of year if you like something a little more lightweight, which I do, especially when right now in North Carolina it's been up to 100 degrees, a little bit above that a few days, so it's getting very hot. I do really like to set this with a little bit of powder because it is pretty dewy. So I would recommend, especially if you have oily skin, I would definitely recommend setting this with some powder. But it is so pretty and so natural. It's just a good drugstore product. You're definitely not going to get more than a light medium coverage out of this. I don't find it to be super buildable. I think the most you're going to get is a light medium coverage from it, but for this type of product, I think that's perfect, especially for the summertime. I feel like most people like something a little more lightweight and breathable when it starts to get really hot out. So I wanted to share this. I've talked about it a few times, but every time I wear this, I love how my makeup looks. It wouldn't be a Blair video without a blush. And the one that I have gotten recently from the drugstore, this is not a new product, but I love it, is Neutrogena Healthy Skin Blush in the shade Rosy. So I've mentioned that I love the Neutrogena Healthy Skin Bronzer also, and I got the blush recently. This blush I think is like $5, $6 online at Walmart, but it is just the prettiest light peachy pink. So that is it there. It doesn't look like anything spectacular. You may not even be able to see it, but it's very buildable. It's not too much. It's just enough pigment. It's so pretty. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, but it's not glittery or anything like that. This is a hidden gem, in my opinion, from the drugstore, because I don't hear anybody talk about this blush, but it is so good, so good. And I did some research. I was thinking there was only one shade of this, which is obviously a huge downside, but I did see online at Walmart, they do make a deeper shade of this. I forget the name of it. I will link them below in the description, and I'll try to pop a picture of it up on the screen. But there is a deeper color, but the only place I've seen it is online at Walmart. So if you have a deeper complexion than I do, look at that deeper shade. Still, obviously, they need more than 2 shades, but I wanted to mention it because I've been reaching for it a ton. I actually put it in my everyday makeup drawer because I've been reaching for it so much. Next is something I've tried a long time ago, but I recently got a new shade, and I just love it. I just love it. It's so simple. It's from e.l.f. and it's the Bite Size Eyeshadow Quad in I Love You a Latte. Now this looks like just a basic neutral quad, and it is. The reason I'm putting this in here is because I feel like there is a lack of all matte palettes, especially in the drugstore. I feel like almost everything you see eyeshadow palette wise has shimmer in it, and I like shimmer personally, but I know a lot of people don't want shimmer. They just want something really basic. I'm thinking of my mom here. She never wants the shimmer shades in eyeshadow palettes, and it's really hard to find a good quality eyeshadow with matte shades for neutrals, and they're all good, useful shades. I have on all 4 of these shades on my eyes today. I put the cream all over my eye, but I kind of focused it on my lid. I mixed the 2 neutral browns in here. One is a little warmer, one's a little cooler. I normally mix them together. That's what I did today. And then I used the dark brown and kind of smudged a little bit of liner on my outer corner of my eye. And that's it. I did mascara and that is it. But these shadows from e.l.f., they're $3 and they blend really well. If you are just a makeup minimalist and you want something really good and neutral and you just want a few shades to work with, maybe you get overwhelmed easily by eyeshadow, this is so good. And I feel like everyone could benefit from this. It's 4 good shades. It's not anything that you're like, oh, I'll never use it, or no shade that looks out of place or anything like that. I feel like it's just a really good staple to have in your collection. It's tiny, so it'd be really easy to travel with too. And the last product is a lip liner. This I have talked about multiple times, but I'm putting it in this video because I've really been reaching for this over all of my lip liners lately. And that's saying a lot because I have a lot of lip liners, but it's the NYX Line Loud lip liner. I only have one of them, but this is the shade Global Citizen, and I love the formula, but I'm also just kind of obsessed with this shade. It's like the perfect medium toned, neutral, nudie brown color. It just looks good with everything, and these last, but they're also creamy. I typically like a creamier lip liner, even though sometimes that means they don't last quite as long, because obviously the creamier it is, the more difficult it is for it to stay for a long amount of time. But this one stays pretty well. Now, I'm not going to tell you it lasts from morning until night and looks exactly the same. Definitely not, but it lasts pretty well for how moisturizing and creamy it is. And these come in so many shades. This is the only one that I have, but I really want to get some more of them. I've been reaching for this over everything. And like I said, I have a lot of lip liners. Lip liners are kind of one of my weaknesses. I just love them. I have a lot of the same type of shade, but I've just consistently been reaching for this one from NYX. Highly recommend. All right, you guys, that is going to be it for this video. I just wanted to share these things. I've tried quite a bit of drugstore stuff recently, but these 5 products really stood out to me, and I highly recommend them. I will list them and link them below for you as always. They are affiliate links, so thank you so much in advance if you do shop through my links. I do make a small commission. Thank you so much, and make sure to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure to follow me over on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok simply.blair1. I will see you next time for another video. Remember, simply be you. Bye.
Sunday morning, waking up with you. We got no plans, we got nothing to